Welcome back to episode 3 of Always Something.
Chale.
Today we got Mr.
Mr. Alberto Garcia goes by 4 shades and 4 pours for the bartending.
Also, by the way, Rosarito Beach behind us. I couldn't fly this guy out to Los Angeles, so I had to bring him all the way out here. Meet him up out here. So no green screen today. Actual
Real
live
deal.
beach, the real deal today.
Real deal Holyfield.
Yep. So tell me about yourself. What inspired you to come on here?
Well, besides the fact that I was invited to, I'm grateful, you know what I mean? Just kind of continue the message of positivity. You know, also also someone with the always something going on in my life, you know, not getting to what I truly want to get to because there's literally always something. You know, life, you know, bills, you know, wanting to provide, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the podcast, and I just figured I can add a little something to the spread.
A little something, always something.
A little something.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
Well, currently I'm unemployed, but I've been in the paint industry professionally for about 5 years now. You know, retailing, sales reps, both for house paint, plaster, this and that. But what I do in my free time in the shadows is a little bit of music. I bartend, you know, a little bit of a mixologist. I like putting stuff together. Kind of like culinary, but just for drinks, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I genuinely love movies too. I mean, I'm always watching movies. I'm always writing. I'm journaling.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Well, I would tell you that it was Jurassic Park some years ago, but now it's probably Jaws and Whiplash. Whiplash is the movie that made me want to make movies while I was in college.
It's like two kind of different genres of movie. What's
Totally different. Well,
what about them?
Jaws I grew up watching along with Jurassic Park. I mean, I was just like a Spielberg head. My grandpa had the VHSs, so I was always watching those. But I don't know, it's just something about like the whole, I guess, like the journey that Spielberg took on at such a young age, like just a couple years younger than us at 26, making Jaws. It was his first kind of like, Universal was like, all right, we'll give you the reins to whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? And just hearing like all of the struggles filming on water at the time, you know, somebody would fall in the water, they'd have to wait like a whole day to shoot the scene over again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little things like that, and then just like suspense, like just like, I guess the storytelling, like you don't even really see the shark till halfway through the movie, you know what I mean? So it's just all that suspense growing up. And
Jaws
then
will get you. He might be back there somewhere.
could possibly be. We saw some dolphins the other day, which was a treat. And then Whiplash is just, man, I mean, just from beginning to end, it's just, I love music, you know, and I love jazz. And that's music and jazz, or movies and jazz in one. So that was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, just great acting. It's suspenseful in its own way, not so much as Jaws with, I mean, I guess there's like hints of blood in the movie of Whiplash, but just great storytelling of how bad do you want it, you know? There was like literal walls that he had to climb through people, through, you know, people that he cared about, people that he wanted to prove, you know, like I can be the next one of the greats. I don't want to just be great. I want to be one of the greats. So it's all really, Whiplash to me is more about how bad do you want it?
Perseverance.
Seriously, how bad do you want it? Yeah. What are you willing to give up?
Has there been a time in your life where you felt like you had to do that, or are you currently doing that?
I'm sure not I'm sure. I'm pretty positive there have been moments that I've had where, you know, I felt like I wanted to take a leap of faith from one thing to another. And, you know, I guess a little bit of ego got in the way. You know, I figured if I was offered such a promising position at a young age, I could take that charisma and that confidence along with me to another phase. So I was working in a paint store for about 4 years, and they pretty much they offered me a store manager position at a young age, and I pretty much just said, you know what, I don't want to be babysitting people my own age. That was some years ago. So they pretty much told me, okay, well, why would we offer any more raises to someone who doesn't want to move up? And I thought to myself, you know what? Yeah, that is pretty true. So maybe I should take all that experience and all this, service and confidence that I have and take it into bartending, somewhere where I can flex customer service and also make some extra money in tips. So I started my own bartending company, and it's here and there. It's not as consistent as I would like it, but in today's day and age, where you can pretty much market yourself and not have to pay tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, look, Pepsi has to spend millions of dollars for 10 seconds in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Today's day and age, you can market yourself for free. Literally, you can make a Yelp page. Today, Yelp means so much more than it did a decade ago.
Very true.
Yeah, social media.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Everything.
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 Very true. And how would you describe your bartending experience? Would you say that so far you've been doing good, or would you feel like there's some things that you can tweak up and do better on?
There's always room for improvement. A lot of times I think to myself, what kind of bartender do I want to be? Do I want to just be doing my own thing, or do I want to just do it on the side work part-time at a bar? And just to be honest with you, I kind of prefer doubling down on just event bartending, because it more kind of fills that void of, look, I'm my own businessman. You know what I mean? I get to see the reactions first and foremost of the creations that I make. Anybody can make a margarita, but let me tell you this.
I love margaritas, and I'll say one thing.
Too, and Palomas.
Everybody makes them very different.
Everybody makes them different.
Some are a lot better.
Yeah.
Some are like strong as heck. And then you get those nice fucking slushy ones.
Yeah.
Woo-wee, baby.
A cool little quote, to kind of follow that is Miles Davis once said, anybody can play the note. That's only 20%. 80% of it is the attitude. It's how you play it.
Very true.
You know what I mean? So anybody can make a margarita. It's all about how you make the margarita. What do you add differently? Or it's not even about like flair. Like, don't get me wrong, I totally admire people that throw the bottles up in the air, flip them around. For me, I can go without that. I just want to make you a good margarita, get to know you. If you like me, I just want to give you a reason to come back to me versus going to any of the other bars on the block. You know what I mean?
It's like they say, it's not about what arrow you use. It's about the Indian behind it.
Yeah, that's
you can be using the spear, bro, and take down a whole bison.
Yeah.
And you can get the guy that doesn't know anything, and he has the most expensive equipment and doesn't even know what he's doing with it.
Oh man, I've been there myself. I mean, I was gifted a guitar at a young age, an amazing Fender. I bought all the expensive pedals that I figured would make me sound like this guy, like that guy. Dude, you don't need a single pedal. You need the attitude, the confidence, and the practice. You know what I mean? Most importantly, the practice. You need to want it. You know what I mean? You need to want it for the right reasons, because so many, more than anything, like all of the most popular songs today, they all use the same chords. It's all about how you use them. It's all about where it hits. You know what I mean? It's all about the timing. And it's all about the attitude. I mean, look, if you put Keith Richards next to some guy at the bar, okay, Keith Richards has about like 50 years of fame. You know what I mean? But, man, you'll want to stop what you're doing if you see somebody like that. Somebody that, like, just brings you. They pull you in. You know what I mean? It's like, it's magic.
Yeah, sometimes it's just couple chords, something chill, relaxing.
That's all
it's very
it takes, man. That's all
vivacious.
That's all it takes. And being a good people person, because nobody wants a jerk off. You know what I mean? Like, they say don't meet your heroes. That's pretty true, but I've met quite a bit of my heroes, and I've been glad, to have, first and foremost, you don't want to, oh my God. Like, I have to make sure to compose myself, and it just happens. You just run into them one day, and you're like, look, big fan, this and that. Do you mind if I get a picture and autograph?
Yeah.
Luckily, it turns out good. It's all about how you come off.
Some people are just like, fudge, man. I've been dealing with this my whole life.
Yeah.
Just another person running up to me.
the biggest thing about our heroes is like we admire them so much, not for what they are, but like
How they've
at least-
impacted us.
at least for me, it's like I really admire the road it took you to get here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The road it took you, like you had to say no to a lot of things to get here. You know what I mean? You had to sacrifice that.
The
It's-
road. I mean, and think about just the road itself. Just think about an artist. How many no's they get,
Uh-huh.
how many doors shut on them, but they keep going. And I think going back to what you said about perseverance is very important to have that mentality of, all right, the door closed, I'm going to keep pushing forward because, I mean, the truth is that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I heard that one time and it kind of threw me off, but someone said, the grass is green where you water it. You know? So if you're constantly just telling yourself, oh, well, if I do this, then I'll be happier. Or if I do this, you need to sit with yourself and kind of understand what you're looking for in life and just water that plant. Because
Brother.
once you water that plant, then you're going to be more happy. You're going to be like, all right, fuck it. I'm making $10 less than what I was doing at this other job, or I got let go from this job. But it's like, you know what? Just water your own plants, brother. A lot of people, too, they like to water other people's plants. They like to,
Yeah.
get in your garden. I mean, like, get in your head and, try and tell you what to do with your life. But at the end of the day, nobody knows you like you. It's always you against you every day. That's
Yeah.
the constant battle, whether people acknowledge that or not. There's only one battle. It's you versus the person and the reflection.
Yeah.
Even let me be better than that person. No, you need to be better than yourself.
People always say, get out of your own way. You know what I mean? Get out of your own way.
Don't fight your future, man.
Don't fight your future. And sometimes it's not pretty. I mean, look, I'm pretty good at customer service. Everywhere I've worked has pretty much had to do with customer service. Pretty much wearing a lot of hats for one position. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'm sure a lot of people experience that too.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's a blessing more than a curse, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who wish they had great customer service, because at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, you got to get through to somebody. You got to get through to them to want your product. They can go anywhere else to buy a car, to get a drink, to
Exactly.
buy their paint. They can go somewhere. There's thousands of other guys who cut grass. You know what I mean? It's all about how you do it and how consistent and how much of a people person you are, really.
Just put a smile on.
Put a smile on that face.
Exactly. Let's put a smile on that face. My father was a drinker.
Brought to you by Michelob, but not really.
FIFA
Barrilito.
FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
What a beautiful day, man, because we had clouds the past 2 days. Not a cloud. Well, yeah, actually, not a cloud in sight, guys.
Cargo ships.
Literally not a cloud in sight. If only the camera was on 2 days ago.
Right.
Like a live stream or something. We saw a dolphin. I think we already said that, though. But we saw a dolphin. It was nice. The horses don't come as close anymore. They're way over there by the pier. And we can't really move the camera, but the pier is actually looking like 2012 over there. War of the Worlds.
Pier's broken.
The pier is broken.
Shout out
bro.
Rosarito.
Rosarito Beach.
I guess at the end of the day, kind of talking about all these people, it seems like in life you don't have to have it figured out.
Definitely not.
Everybody becomes something at a different age, and I feel like in today's generation, like if you're not 18 driving a sports car that you can't even afford, you're not cool, right? I remember like getting out of high school and graduating, and the first thing people did was they would get Dodges and like soup up their cars, and I'm like, meanwhile I had a Ford Escape, bro. Looked like a grandma in my car.
If it got you from point A to point B, though, that's the real. That's
Exactly.
the real.
And I feel like that's when you learn more, when you you need to struggle a little bit. You need to understand what it's like to not have it figured out.
100%.
So that way you can one day be like, oh, okay, I don't want to go back down that road because it took me to that. Or I did this there. All right, I took that road already. Let me try to maneuver a little bit. Go this way.
I just turned 28 2 weeks ago, and I'm feeling the same as I did as I was like 16 years old, dude. Like it's crazy how fast time goes by, and like
Very fast.
all the scenarios you put yourself in to prove to yourself that like, hey, I can take a step myself, and you know, you fall. It's really all about how you get up. You know what I mean? Um,
Bombay.
yeah, it's just it's crazy. Like that cliche, time goes by. It's really gone by. Like I genuinely remember like the day I graduated high school, the day I moved into to my dorm at college, the day I met my girlfriend. That was 7 years ago, almost 8 now. That was a minute ago.
This man's committed in a relationship.
Haven't looked back since, dude. But yeah, it's just like, you know, all these, like I said, like what I really admire is like the road it took, the resilience that you build. You know, I mean, maybe I do a little too much reflecting on that and not enough action. You know, with all this media today, it's like get rich quick. I'm like, okay, let me see what that's about. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, just a little bit. Let me just
And then you find out it's a fucking pyramid scheme.
let me just get a little sliver of what it is. But
All these people are like growing my business, looking for people to join. You fucking
Dude,
join, and you're like, "Fuck, am I doing
at
here?"
the end of the day, it's just like, man, do whatever feels right for you, because I mean, who knows? Those people could be hired by somebody else to be saying stuff like that. You know,
and that's exactly
you
what I'm
trust
saying
anything
is that
nowadays,
it's just
man. You really can't. You can't trust anything nowadays.
crazy caca.
Like I left my paint store job. I went to bartending school, and I got a job as like a sales rep for like water filtration. But little did I know. I mean, I thought I was gonna be like out on the field and stuff. They told me that they wanted me to be on. They wanted me to be like at a Home Depot at a little kiosk or something. I was like, oh. I mean, okay, maybe I sound ungrateful for that. That was not at all what I was looking for. You know what I mean? Come to find out, I mean, the guy totally bails on me. Doesn't even give me a call back, and I just lost a position of 4 years like nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since then, it's kind of just been like a roller coaster. I've been trying to find any job. I worked at a kennel. I got back into the paint industry. I got a job at Benihana as a bartender, which was something that kind of fulfilled my, you know, my journey. But the you know, you got to work your way up anywhere you go. You're gonna get the bottom of the barrel at the beginning, and
It's like our grandpa said. You know, he said you can't expect to go to a new job, or like he says, if you don't do the janitor's job and you don't do all the entry level stuff, how do you expect to be at the top and know everything?
100%, dude.
He says you gotta crawl, start walking,
Yep.
jogging, and then running, and then
Nobody better
And
than
then
him
just
to
take
say
off.
that, literally. Because even another thing that he speaks truth is treating every single person with respect, from the
Oh,
janitor
yeah.
to the boss. You know what I mean?
And you
Beautiful.
know, what's funny is that when I met my fiance now, like at first I would tell her like, oh, you know, like she would get kind of nervous when I would like say hi to every single person. She's like, oh, it's kind of weird. Like, why are you doing that? You know, but it wasn't disrespectful. She just kind of meant like, I'm not used to that. Like, I just mind my own business.
Yeah.
But
a
then,
lot of people here do.
and then it's like, and then you start passing these people quite often, and then next thing you know, strangers are people you're shaking hands with.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the guy you shook hands with is the CEO of a freaking big corporation, and one day you're like, hey, you know what, bro? You looking for a job? And he's like, oh, I'm actually this. You need a job? I'll get you a job. Or just, you never know.
Yeah.
Endless opportunities happen when you're just, all it takes is a smile, a nod, and hello. When was there a time in your life that you felt like you dealt with the most adversity?
The most adversity, man, I would say right now.
Nice.
I would say right now, because
Keeping it real.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like right now. I would say these past couple of years have been a journey. You know, like I've been blessed to have some gigs with bartending that's kept me afloat. But it's just finding the stability the day after day. You know what I mean? It's like you're on Indeed and it's saturated with jobs, and it's just like, are half of these even real jobs, or are they just like bots? You know, like follow up
Yep.
with them, you never hear anything back. You know, money's running thin, and it's just like, you know, you don't want to have to ask people for help. Kind of want to let them not worry at all, not let them know your situation, let them know that it's all right. But sometimes, you know, shoot, I mean, I would say this is the point of adversity for me, because I haven't been in a situation quite like this yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
same here.
It's a big lesson, you know, in today's economy, that you gotta really, you gotta manage your money well. You gotta, you gotta manage your time just as easy. I mean, dude, there's all kinds of craziness going on, man. I mean, I just saw on Instagram today 3 killed in a Hollywood apartment. I'm like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And then we see all these other things of people doing takeovers,
Oh yeah.
and this girl literally like
I'm
loses
sure
her
if you
leg.
guys saw
like,
that. Sure they
dude.
did. So I think it was
It's
gnarly.
It's an
Poor girl.
interesting time in the world. Interesting time in the world.
Very.
Very interesting time in the world.
And if there's one thing that you can leave the viewers with, what would it be? Or maybe in better perspective, what's
Yeah, you know
some
what?
advice that you would leave for yourself to come back and watch later?
100%. If you got a full-time job and it's not ideal and you see yourself doing something else, like one thing I would take away if I could probably just rewind the clock a little is like, maybe depending on, how your job is or whatever, take some time for yourself. Take like a couple days off, take a week off, ask for the weekend off or something. You don't got to go to anywhere extravagant. You could probably just leave the house for a day, just drive. Driving is therapy for me, dude. Like, I love driving. Just drive. Sometimes my girlfriend's like, where are we going? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Exactly.
Just take the time. Know that you're not, like, a slave to the system. I don't know where anybody got that. You know what I mean? That's not true, dude. It's all about what you make it. If I could take it back, I would definitely be back at that paint store job and, like, take a couple days to myself to really, really, like, maybe turn off my phone and just reflect, like, okay, where am I now? Like, what are these people saying about me? They're saying good things. I mean, they offered me a store manager job at 23 years old. I'm like, all right, I got to be doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't have such a big ego. You know what I mean? Like, take it for what it is, Take the position. You're not going to be any more locked in than you are now. I mean, unless you want to do that, by all means. I respect every single walk of life, dude. And my mom always tells me, if you want to be a janitor, I'd be proud of you, but do the best you can. And
Yep.
that's a lot of truth. That's a lot of truth. Like, do it with pride. Do it with pride, do it with pride. Don't feel like you're a slave to the system. And, just, like, keep going at a side project, because, that's where it all begins. You know what I mean? Like, Steve Jobs is doing this, doing that, and meanwhile, him and the buddy Steve Wozniak were building what we're on today in a garage in the 60s or 70s, whatever it was. And literally, like, look at the impact that made. You know what I mean? Following your dreams, Steve Jobs was a stubborn cat, but, like, just not letting your dream be altered in any way, because I guarantee you there's more iPhones out there than Androids. You know what I mean? Being used, at least.
Yeah.
More Macs than Windows. You know what I mean? All that. Like, that's a huge, like, inspiration to me, is, like, that's how much of a dent in the universe that cat made. Literally, don't be your own worst enemy, because we all are. I am. Get out of your own way. I mean, that's me looking in the mirror and talking. Whatever people want to take from that, whatever they want to say about
and
that.
I mean, apply it to your own life.
Yeah,
however
apply
you
it
need
to your own life.
You need to use it.
You're not a slave at all. You can leave if you want. You can leave your job. Just see what happens after. Hopefully
Sorry.
you have enough money saved.
Sorry, corporate America.
Literally,
But we're all
no.
just a number.
Oh yeah.
Whether your job tells you that or not, you're just another person. You're just a little fly on the wall. They'll tell you everything. They'll give you the best life, but the second something goes wrong, they're just...
Yeah, you're just as disposable.
That's
But
it.
in the meantime, just make it for what it is, because all in all, unless you have it made, unless you're like the Kardashians and you expect people to do stuff for you, I mean, you gotta sacrifice a little here and there. You gotta. That's
gotta
what
be
it is.
willing
It's
to-
sacrifice. You're not a slave.
Yeah. Gotta
You're-
be willing to just, give it your all, do your best. And again, know that you're not going to be perfect, and
No.
it just...
Not at all.
It's life, man. Life's going to run its course. You're going to take days off. You're going to be tired. But just keep going.
Give at least like half an hour to an hour out of your 8-hour shift, or after your 8-hour shift, whatever it may be. Just give that alone to your passion project, and within a month, see where you'll be. But give it like a consistent, like 30 minutes. Like, all right, hopefully your loved one will understand. You walk the dog, you wash the dishes, you
Yep.
know, you make dinner for the gal or the boyfriend. Just take that time for yourself, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know, that's what it is.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Another thing too, just kind of like piggybacking off of that, is like you know, how can you expect to give somebody your 100 when you can't even give it to yourself? You know what I mean? Just a little bit. I'm not trying to get off philosophical on here, because I can't really follow that.
Didn't know I was sitting next to Dr. Phil.
Chale, Dr. Feel Good.
Exactly.
Eso sí, mi chavo.
Well, Mr. Four Pores, Four Shades, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you,
If you want to
brother.
drop your ats, drop them now.
I got 4 pores, which is spelled out FORU, period POURS, pores.
Four Pores.
And then on YouTube, it's 4 shades, but spelled out FOURSHVDES.
This man couldn't make up his mind. Four Pores, Four
4
Shades.
shades.
One spelled this way, one spelled that way.
Quick little thing. 4 shades, just for everybody to know. There's nothing major behind it. You know how we have the 4 seasons in the year? That's just another way of saying 4 seasons. You know, 4 seasons was already taken by Frankie Valli in the 50s going on. So I gotta kind of commemorate that and pay a little bit of a tribute to that, because we're not only good for 1 season, we're good all year round. You know what I mean? 4 shades.
Sheesh.
Salud.
My man, my boy. It was a pleasure to have you on here.
Yeah, brother. Thank you. Ay. Echo chi, echo chi. Remember, guys, there's always something.